welcome back to Well Played, presented by The Skim. I'm Caroline Hendershot.
And I'm Blake Morgan. Caroline, welcome back from Indianapolis.
Grazie.
The great Midwestern city.
Ugh, beauty.
And what were you doing?
She is grace. I was the Big Ten Network and reporting on the Big Ten Rowing Championships. And, you know, I know, everyone, it's the most popular event of the year. Calm down. But no, it was so special because it really brought me immediately back into my feels. Like, I was so emo and I couldn't figure out why.
Was it like PTSD emo?
No, it was like happiness, like PTSD a little bit, because it was like I had worked so hard to get to my Big Ten championship and I knew everything that goes into it, and like I was just like proud and happy for Washington, who ended up winning. So yeah, it was just special.
Is there a little grief involved, would you say?
Yeah, I was like mourning the fact that I no longer am on a team, because that's the part I miss the most about sports, is like the team and the locker room and all like the shenanigans that happened. So but yeah, it was special. I loved it.
It seemed like you had good weather.
Oh, yeah. It was windy.
I saw a couple bare arms in your reporting.
Yes. It was windy because windy Indy. But, you know, it's okay. That's nonetheless, we persisted. So
also, sorry, guys, that we are dropping this episode a day late. It's because, in case you couldn't tell, this is not karaoke-induced bad voice. It is actually sick-induced.
You sounded worse post-karaoke.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I sound like shit right now.
No, you actually... little cute raspiness. Oh, you know, I'm into it.
I know.
Okay, two things, and then we can get into the episode. But one, did you notice anything about me?
Wait.
Did you notice?
No.
I got my ears pierced.
Wait, but you were wearing earrings.
Clip-ons.
Oh,
boom.
Okay, I thought you just got the ears re-pierced. Like,
no, I I had my ears sewn up because they were.
Right, I remember that.
Yes, because they were gonna like slit. Slit through.
They're just gonna like, if you wore too heavy of an earring,
it was gonna go.
The hole was just gonna open even bigger.
So had to get them stitched up and then had to have them rest for 6 months.
It looks great,
and I'm done and dusted now. Thank you so much. I felt like a 13-year-old going to get my ears
Where
pierced.
did you go? Like
Studs in like Hudson Yards.
Okay,
yeah. So it was good.
I was gonna say Claire's. I was like, wait, that's like an illegal move.
I was like,
oh,
no, literally. Someone asked me, I forget, some man, classic, was like, "Are you going to Claire's?" And I was like. For real?
They're so dumb.
So dumb.
You can't do that.
Okay, and then also, shout out to Anne. She DM'd us. We promised her that we would stop swearing as much, and she's just the funniest person I've ever DM'd.
But didn't we talk about her last week a bit?
I can't remember, but I just love her so much.
Well, last week she sent Caroline a DM and was like, my husband and I think they're like in their 60s and 70s. They're like, we listen to your show. We love it. One thing we would love, you know, just to curb the swearing a little. And I'm like, okay, heard, because my dad said the same thing.
Totally.
And she was like, it's not because like we're offended by it. It's just because it loses its power, which sometimes I fall into that camp.
Yeah, same.
Most days I don't. But then we did drop the word bitches last week.
Like right off the top.
Yeah, because Sean wasn't here to stop us.
Yeah.
He is here today.
And then she DM'd us that she said, love you bitches. And I was like, I am obsessed with you. So that's the energy that I want to
Queen
channel.
of the week, Anne. Thank you.
Yes, 100%. Okay. Make sure you are checking out our full-length video of this and every episode on YouTube. Just search Well Played, presented by The Skim. Or if you are an audio listener, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen, like, subscribe, comment, DM us. You know the drill at this point. Blake, where can they follow you?
BLAA's 4Ks E.
Make sure you're following The Skim at The Skim, and follow me at CG Hendy. Okay, shall we?
Let's go play the field. We're beginning today's Playing the Field with an update from Bildon.
Yeah.
Jorbil.
I like that better.
Jorbil?
Jorbil.
It sounds like a creature from like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so whatever you want to call them, Jordon, Hudson,
yes,
Bill Belichick. The New York Times reported yesterday that, quote, Ms. Hudson has told at least one person that she and Mr. Belichick are engaged to be married.
Yeah, the reporting came out yesterday morning. Neither of them have denied the claim so far. At this time of recording,
what do we think?
Weirdest way ever to say like we're engaged.
Yeah,
has told at least one person. Usually, it's like sources close to the couple say.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Has told at least one person. There's something weird there.
So you think they like talk to her or something?
No, I don't know. I'm just like this. It's so weird. Has told at least one person. I don't I don't know the verbiage, why they use that verbiage. Like, that really
Okay, well, your
me.
journalism hat is like on a little too hard today.
Yeah,
I'm going to take that off for you.
Sorry.
And ask you, as a engaged person yourself, do we think they're engaged?
Well, no, because you usually scream it from the rooftops ASAP.
I was going to say, like, Jordan and I were not that far apart in age. I'm 20, turning 27.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 26. Let's just say I'm a hard 26 right now. She's 24.
26.
Only 2 years apart. If I got engaged,
Scream it from the rooftops.
as you have, I would be, especially to the most famous man in football, perhaps.
Correct.
You know that rock's going to be big.
Yeah.
You got to show it off.
And she probably
And
is
she would.
itching to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But if she doesn't say anything in the next, today, I would say, then I'm like leaning towards maybe no. Because
really?
because I just don't think that if it actually happened, I feel like it would be like everywhere. She would want to share it. He would want to share it. I mean, like, maybe their PR people are like, hey, let's not. But
well, sometimes silence. Actually, that's not true. I was going to say you could take silence as a yes, but you could also take silence as a no.
For sure.
I also wanted to say that I just like read the New York Times article that you were the one who sent it to me.
Yeah.
Did you see the part where she was they wrote about how she took out trademarks on Bill Belichick's signature catchphrases from his days as the Patriots head coach?
She has a ton of trademarks that she is.
But did you notice the Taylor?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The Bills version or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like no days off and do your job. So apparently the Patriots already have trademarks on that. Mm-hmm. And so she went a step further. She took a page out of Miss Taylor Swift's playbook and wrote her trademarked no days off Bills version.
Here's the thing. I do appreciate that because I love me some Taylor Swift. So I thought that was...
You'll take the Taylor mention anywhere you can get it.
Duh. I will also say in that article, it was reported that the whole reason why NFL Films pulled out of the Hard Knocks with UNC's football program was because Hudson demanded that she be granted content approval and partial ownership of the show.
Partial ownership?
Yeah.
She's really just trying to get whatever she can get.
I mean,
and,
get your bag,
but... Yeah, I was going to say...
But to a degree.
Right.
Maybe.
I think you can always shoot your shot. I'll always appreciate a woman who shoots her shot. Doesn't mean you're always going to get that shot.
Correct. Agreed.
And especially when it comes to something as grand of a show. I mean, Hard Knocks has been running for like over 20 years.
It's infamous.
Yeah, not happening.
You can try.
So we're going to kick it off with a little roundup of the first week of WNBA action. If you look at the video right now, I am wearing a WNBA really sick shirt that I got at the WNBA draft. Caroline has one as well.
Yes, she did. Yes, I do.
So let's start with we should probably just start with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Yes.
And so the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky, they went head to head this past week. They're rival. They're not even like really rivals because they're just two completely different kinds of teams.
Yeah.
But really the rivalry that people keep talking about is just Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese as individuals.
Right.
Because of their history in college basketball and of course carried to the WNBA.
Of course.
First of all, the game itself drew in a record crowd of over 17,000 people.
Insane.
That's amazing. 2.7 million viewers, which is the most since 2000, I think, on ESPN networks for a WNBA game.
Yeah.
But what people are really talking about is their little situation in the third quarter.
Tiff, maybe. So things got heated when Clark went for a hard foul on Reese, sending her to the ground and to the line for free throws. But sorry, that was my phone. For free throws. But as Caitlin walked to the other end of the court, Angel popped up and started walking toward Caitlin, yelling, "You crazy ass bleep. What the bleep is wrong with you?"
That's amazing.
Thank you. So
I would recommend you watch this scene. I'm talking about it as if it's a movie.
Yeah.
I would recommend you watch this play if you haven't yet. But what did you think? Did you think that talking about the basketball itself, was the foul too hard?
Okay, I will say one thing that I have learned from watching the NFL is when you are playing at full speed in the height of the action of the game, you cannot always control how fast you move. Like you're operating at full speed and like your brain is catching up to what your body's doing half the time or vice versa. And I thought it didn't look super hard. The way that Angel fell made it look really hard. So I think maybe it could have been harder than it looked, or what, it just like hit her the right way. So sure, it looked a little hard, but like at the end of the day, when she explained the reasoning behind it,
she being
Caitlin, sorry.
Yes.
You either let Angel Reese get this easy layup or you foul her and you send her to the line for free throws. That is a basketball play. Like, that makes sense to me. Obviously, there's always going to be some tension. There's always going to be a little bit of the rivalry juices flowing. So that's where the emotion comes into it.
Yeah.
However, if you watch the entire clip and you slow it down, Angel does shove a Fever player 2 hands in the back before Caitlin then
That was
like...
what she was reacting to. That was what Caitlin was reacting to, which is why I think she got a little worked up and fouled her harder.
Maybe a little hard, yeah.
Harder than maybe she would have.
Yeah.
I did see, do you know Chine? You must know her. Chine Ogumike, yeah. So WNBA, I mean, I think just like general basketball analyst, but like specifically I've seen her commentary on WNBA basketball playing, and she broke it down in an Instagram video where she was like, there were so many similar plays to this exact play in the WNBA's opening weekend. She called out a play in like the Liberty game.
Yeah.
And then another one that I cannot remember which one it was. So I think this just points to the fact that like people are really honing in on this one.
Love to make a mountain out of a molehill.
I love that, girl. You're poetic as hell.
Oh my God.
I feel like, yeah, people are just making a big deal because it is Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark.
And the thing is, like, the fans and like the media want the drama. They don't. Like, if they don't care, we shouldn't either. But the thing that we should care about is that one fan for the Fever, at least one, according to reports, the WNBA is now investigating racial slurs directed at Angel Reese during the game. The source of the accusation and the culprit in question have not been named. However, the WNBA did put out a statement saying the WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms. They have no place in our league or in society. We are aware of the allegations and are looking into the matter.
Good.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah,
that's classic.
Yeah, I mean, this all comes in wake of the league's No Space for Hate campaign, which launched actually this season. They're calling it a multi-dimensional platform designed to combat hate and promote respect across all WNBA spaces, both online and in arenas. I think you and I are probably both like pro tasteful rivalries.
Yeah.
This is not tasteful, guys.
No, and this is what I was saying. Like, it's so classic in the sense of like, this is the fan that takes it too far, where it's like they're DMing college football players who like miss a field goal to like hurt themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, relax. Let's take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Like, it's just don't
I know.
take it.
I think it's like poisonous too with the internet because you develop almost like a parasocial relationship with somebody like Caitlin Clark, obviously a face of the league.
Yeah.
And you feel like these fans feel like they like have a ownership or like a stake in like her life really, and feel like this protective nature over her.
It's also because like you're so used to doing things with like anonymity almost, the hiding behind a keyboard, and if you're in a crowd like thinking you can yell whatever, it's like, guys, grow up.
Yeah. So
also, who raised you?
Raised you?
My God.
Yeah. So we say no racist remarks, please. I think like rivalries fuel great competition. I think it can be really,
is what makes sports.
It makes it fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was
let the players have the rivalry.
Yeah, and honestly, like they don't. The thing is, like they respect each other as individuals.
Yeah, they high five later in the game.
Yeah, and they know that this is part of good athleticism and good sport. You know, obviously hard fouls is what I'm talking about, but keep the other shit, please, to yourselves.
To the side. Or just like literally not even part of the combo. Okay, a few more notable moments from the opening weekend for the WNBA. Paige Bueckers made her debut for the Dallas Wings. She finished the game with just 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 30 minutes. Now,
people were like saying that, oh my God, this was not a great performance from her. What do you think?
Take a Xanax. Like, two things. One, I saw a picture of her in the gym like 30 minutes after the game ended, and she was like blasting music apparently and like already working out. So here's the thing. There's always going to be a learning curve. Some people get ahead of the curve faster than others, but like it's a different league. It's a different style of play.
Also,
even though it's the same sport.
Okay, I've been hearing this a lot. It's just like you don't realize that when you are a college athlete and you transition to the pro league, like these are women who have been working out and like getting fucking buff for sometimes like a decade at a time.
The transformation from rookies to their second year, every time it's like, whoa,
exactly.
They had a crazy, because it's just different.
I don't think anyone's too concerned right now, but just so you all know.
And for the record, she scored 19 points in game 2 against Seattle. So, in her second game.
Improvement. Good for her.
But even though it was a loss. Also, I want to mention that I really appreciated her dad getting interviewed during the game and getting choked up. Ugh, emo.
We love an emotional dad.
And shout out to our girl Emily, who DM'd us the video as Ascendant nominee. It was very sweet, and I just thought that should be part of the mention of the story.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Kelsey Plum also had a huge debut for her new team, the LA Sparks. She was part of that huge blockbuster trade in the offseason by the Vegas Aces, and she scored a whopping 37 points in her first game.
Casual.
As a team's number one option. That total is the most by a Sparks player in their debut and the most by any WNBA player in a season opener.
She's been popping off in her single era.
Well, she's not, I don't think she's actually single.
Oh, she hasn't officially divorced?
Kelsey Plum?
Yeah.
She was getting divorced?
Darren Waller.
Oh.
NFL player. Used to play for the Giants.
Ben
Retired. Yeah. Yeah. Used to play for the Giants. Retired. They're divorced.
Well, then shit, go off, girl. Maybe this is the...
I think they divorced ahead of last year's season for the WNBA.
I completely missed that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, she's been really popping off.
Listen,
in her
girl. And she was like, I'm getting a divorce. I'm getting the fuck out of Vegas. I'm going to LA.
Yeah. Bye.
Also, that game had 18,000 plus people show up for the game. It was also the first game ever for the Golden State Valkyries. The new expansion team for the WNBA. So
your team that you're gonna audition for their mascot
for. Never mind. I'm going to keep moving. Okay, finally for WNBA topics, we have to close with the New York Liberty, our team. Well, my team. Your team as well?
Just throw me under the bus.
I don't know. I just I don't want to claim allegiances for you.
Yes, I would like to claim that allegiance.
Maybe you're a Connecticut Sun fan.
Well, there's some fandom there, but
yes,
but old Connecticut Sun,
right?
Okay, but anyways,
so they held their championship ring ceremony before their home game tip-off against the Aces. The rings were crazy.
Yeah.
Can we talk about them real quick?
Favorite part, have to mention it. They opened up. I've seen Super Bowl rings open up before and reveal a mock-up of the stadium, their home stadium. These opened up earrings.
Yeah.
So girl-coded. I am obsessed with it.
It's utility and design.
Yeah. A woman designed that ring.
Yeah. Well, literally. Did you know that two twins designed that ring?
I did not, but I knew it.
Two twin sisters. They're from Brooklyn. So they designed it with this guy. I was reading a whole article about it from this small magazine called BK Mag. And this guy, Jason, who has designed 8 of the last NBA rings. Ooh. 8 of the last 9 NBA rings, and then some NHL, MLB, NFL rings. They collabed it real hard. Yeah, it was just so cool. But anyway, what's on the ring? So on the top, there's this oversized flame, a la the Statue of Liberty's torch. Of
course.
It's in seafoam green gems, and in between that, so that's in between the letters N and Y, obviously for New York. There are 11 black diamonds in the N and Y on the top of the ring to represent 11 playoff wings for the Liberty. There's a leaf on one side of it. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
It's really cool. So there's a leaf on one side. It's in a panel that looks like cracked concrete because the leaf is breaking through the concrete. Concrete for concrete jungle. Leaf because, the beauty that grows through the concrete.
Poetic.
It is very poetic.
Lovely.
Clearly designed by a woman.
Yeah, duh.
Women.
Yes. Duh.
There's also 28 stones in the leaves to represent the team's 28 seasons and 32 black diamonds honoring the team's 32 regular season wins last year.
Wow. Lots of symbolism. I appreciate that.
They might even be, I don't have this fact check, so don't even quote me on this, but they could be the first women to design a WNBA championship ring or even a championship ring. Sean, you're going to look that up right now, and trust me, you're not even going to be able to find the answer.
Okay, while Sean looks that up, let's move on to NBA talk.
Woof.
Ooh, why woof?
Well, just woof. I'm getting nervous because,
Go ahead.
Okay. Last week, the Knicks did beat the Celtics in their series. So now they're in the semifinals, Final Four, whatever you want to call it.
Playoffs.
So the reason why I said woof is because I was really tired at the end of last week. And so I stayed in Friday night, which is when the last game of the series happened against the Celtics. Obviously, shit went down in Manhattan that night. And I had FOMO. Control. I felt like, the DW meme from Arthur where she's standing at the pool fence because she wants to get in there, but she can't. That was me.
Yeah.
I was just watching it all unfold from my phone.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
Climbing on poles,
More than that, there was a tall billboard, like digital billboard, and then this guy somehow got up there and was just like sitting, swinging his little feet.
Yeah, maybe not, guys.
I don't know.
But our boy Timmy Chalamet, Timmy Chalamet was amongst the celebrations. He was filmed literally hanging out the window of his SUV on the way out of the arena, and like literally man of the people. It was giving Dune, where he's
Dune 1 or 2.
I don't know.
Because I didn't see 2. So if you say it's
I'll
from 2.
say 1. I think I only saw 1 too. But where he's like Lisan al-Gaib or whatever in Dune. And then like people are obsessed with him. It was giving that. I was like, holy
my
shit.
mind went more Pope, but it really did feel like an equalizing moment for the city.
Totally.
You know, doesn't matter your race,
Man
your
of
creed.
the people.
Yeah. Everybody just united for the Knicks.
Yes.
I also think his security guard was literally like
pulling
holding him
yes.
in
Yes.
the car so he wouldn't go out.
And then later that night, he was spotted celebrating at a star-studded post-game celebration. Several Knicks players, quarterback Russell Wilson, Jordon Woods at Chez Margot.
Ooh, very posh.
It's a private club in the meatpacking district of New York. No, and I did look up their membership costs. Not in the book for Coco.
Especially not leading up to that wedding.
Yeah, no. Oh, wait, real quick. Shout out to Darmy on TikTok. You sent this to me. She was icing her voodoo doll of Jalen Brunson's ankles and knees ahead of that game.
She literally has him live in the freezer.
Yeah, as she should.
He needs
keep him ice cold, ice in his veins. Yes.
I want to see what her videos are like this week.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so meanwhile, Game 7 in the OKC Denver series, it ended in a blowout loss for the Nuggets. Ouch. Okay, so after the game, Denver star Nikola Jokic was asked about his offseason plans, to which he said, next couple of days is going to be a lot of beer, probably.
Icon.
And horses. He didn't say that, but we can all assume.
Yeah. Love him. He's just vibes.
But like, how would you spend the first couple of days after your loss from the...
Probably not beer, margaritas.
I was thinking like martini and fries almost every day.
Yeah. Just getting absolutely wasted. Yeah. Love that. Love that for him.
So now Nuggets, they got 8.
Yep.
Oklahoma City now Oklahoma City now locked in a matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They had their first game last night?
Yes, 114-88.
Ow.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, so...
But there's drama happening behind the scenes.
I mean, that could maybe lead to why they perform so poorly.
Perhaps.
A lot's going on in the mind right now.
Center,
at least 2 players, but start with the first.
Center Rudy Gobert.
Oh.
You didn't like that? Weird. Rudy Gobert.
Weird.
split from his longtime girlfriend, Julia Bonilla? Yeah. There was a rumor.
Well, she's French too, so why don't you give it a shot?
No, you shamed me.
I didn't.
You did. There was a rumor going around that he told his pregnant girlfriend and their 1-year-old son to move out of their house.
Tea.
I know.
So Gobert confirmed the split this week, saying a lot of inaccurate information out there.
He did say don't speculate. And what are we doing? Speculating.
Yeah, of course. Julie and I are currently in the painful process of redefining our co-parenting relationship. So like we said, they have one son together who was born a year ago, and Julia recently revealed that she's actually pregnant with their second child.
Yeah. So the timing, I think, set off a lot of speculation because she was in attendance at Wolves games up until the final game of the regular season on April 13th. And then they both posted on their IG stories. And she actually specifically said in her IG story, I have never, ever been unfaithful to my partner.
So we're thinking cheating allegations.
Well, I think that's what people immediately assumed. Right. And
because like, why would you
just split like that?
And like,
it felt so sudden.
The child of your mother and your child out of your house.
Yeah. So I think that's what people jumped to. And she was like shooting those rumors down. But he didn't specifically say anything. So who knows what the real reasoning is. But
it was a stressful read, I have to say, on her Instagram story. She was like, I gave up my life to be with this man. Like,
I know. And
really trying to make it work always.
And she was like, I feel so alone and lonely here because she's also from France. So it's sad. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, he must have been like, I don't know, getting some lessons from one other Wolves player, AntMan Edwards.
AntMan.
Who you seem to love.
I love that he plays the villain. I'm really into it.
What about with all his alleged numerous baby mamas?
Here's the thing. I'm just here for the antics that he brings and the theatrics on the court. I haven't really delved into all of the baby mama drama.
I've tried to delve into the baby mama drama, but there's like so much and like there's like lawsuits involved.
Ooh.
there's, I think, more than... So he has his baby mama who was featured in Starting Five, who he acknowledges as his baby and baby mama, girlfriend, Shannon. There, I think, are at least 2 other women, don't quote me on that, who he has children with. Okay. And there is like a text thread between one of them, and he said like, get an abortion, LOL, or get the abortion. And people like love and on the Wolves subreddit like to just say that whenever news about him comes up. Oh my
god, that is
it's just
insane.
Like really bad. Like he really we need some sex education in the room.
Well, he's like a very young buck.
He's so young. He's like what, 23, 24?
I think so.
Tops.
So yeah, and I mean you rise to like fame that quickly. It goes right to your head. And if you're a man, even faster. Okay. The Knicks tip off against the Pacers tonight and host Tyrese Haliburton and co at MSG. Also, this frickin' man, I'm a big fan of him. He goes on the Pat McAfee show a decent amount, and they surprised this Pacers fan who got like trash thrown at him by like a Knicks fan. They surprised him with tickets to the game, like are flying him out, paying for his stay. Yeah. And the guy, like Tyrese, like popped up on the video and the guy like freaked out. It was really wholesome.
Okay, well listen, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
We're gonna stage a video.
Oh, okay.
Where Sean throws trash at me.
Yeah.
He's gonna be wearing a Pacers jersey.
Okay.
I'm gonna wear my Knicks jersey.
Perfect.
And we're gonna make this happen. But you know what? Both of us.
I'll film
obviously.
it. I'll film it.
No. I want you there with me.
Oh no, but you can just bring me. I'll be your +1.
Okay. Because they probably don't want you to go alone.
No. They're like, you need a buddy system.
Right.
You already got beaten up. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that.
We'll workshop that.
You know, I have to say, again, Reddit. I've been talking about Reddit a lot this episode. I've just been so sick and bored.
This episode.
I know, always. But especially this episode. A lot of people like to clown on Tyrese. And I think it's just because, I don't know, maybe I have a soft spot for the light-skinned kings in the NBA. Like him and Jason Tatum always get shat on. And I think it's just because they're like slightly maybe corny and good looking.
Probably.
That's so wrong.
Just people are jealous, you know?
Yeah, and they're good at basketball. That's why.
Yeah, totally. That's what it comes down to. Okay, so
sum up everything, because we did this with the NFL playoffs, and I feel like it really resonated with our listeners.
Yes.
Can you please set the scene for the 2025 NBA playoffs in terms we can all understand?
Yes,
I feel like you have a good example for me.
Yes, I can. Because what have I been doing while Scott's been at a work conference all week? Oh, that's right. Binging season 2 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Just like everyone and their brother should be doing. Because I don't know what it is. That show, cinema. Absolute masterpiece. I can't get enough of it.
I will say, I have started watching because of Caroline this week during my 6 days off. I'm only halfway through season 1. So my reactions to what you're about to say could be a little off based on what's going on in season 2, because I know characters have changed.
Yes. We're going to compare each of the 4 teams that are in the playoffs for the NBA title to women in my favorite show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but specifically season 2, because that is what just came out recently. So the 4 teams that are playing: Oklahoma City Thunder, Minnesota Timberwolves, Indiana Pacers, and the New York Knicks, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So OKC, we're going to start there. They are like one of the youngest teams in the league. They're having this hot run this season, and they're a little unpredictable, okay? This is Layla of the show. Yes. And she's the youngest woman on the cast at 23. I know she's not like new this season, but you know what it is? Her body. She got a little tummy tuck, a little boob job, a little nose job. She got some fillers. She was like, I'm going to get myself worked on. I want to feel hot, as she should. And so she had like that little transformation. This season, she is a little unpredictable. I can really never tell where she's going to go, whose side she's going to be on. But she had put on her investigative journalist hat this season. Let me tell you, season 2 ends on a cliffhanger.
Wait, that's crazy, because in season 1, she's somebody who to me was more under the radar and was just like being really nice and like open and kind of like taking both sides almost.
Yes. She was still like kind of taking both sides, but she played a bigger role this season.
You finished it already?
Obviously.
Holy shit. Okay.
Okay. Timberwolves. They're the unconventional bad boys. But it works, you know? They're led by Anthony Edwards. He's always involved in the drama. This is Taylor, okay?
Obviously.
Obviously. You wouldn't think the idea of a Mormon who's a swinger would work. But look at what it brought us, the greatest show in television. And she's always involved in drama. Like, she's kind of the core of the group, I would say. So it always kind of revolves around her.
It revolves around her, but at least from what I've seen in season 1, you tell me if I'm wrong, it's like it happens around her, but she's not always like, I feel like Whitney to me is more dramatic.
Yeah, in season 1 for sure. But just wait until season 2.
Fuck, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
It's okay. Okay, Pacers, girl next door, who generally no one has a problem with, right? People are happy they made it this far in the finals, the playoffs. This is Macy. She has been the peacekeeper this season and really seems like the fan favorite, at least from my perspective. She is like trying to keep the peace in the group, and she is supportive of people, and she's kind of clear-headed. I really enjoy her this season.
I like her in season 1 too.
Yeah.
She's very loyal.
Yes.
People really like her.
Yeah.
And she's able to maintain friendships even when things get messy.
Correct.
With everybody.
And she'll forgive and move on. And yes. Okay. Finally, the New York Knicks. They're the OGs, you know? Like, they've been around the block. They've been there since the beginning. They haven't won a championship in a while. You know, 1973. It's been a minute. That would be Madison. Now, you haven't met Madison in season 1 because she was part of the original Mom Talk drama. She was part of the swinger scandal. Yes, who then stopped talking to Taylor after Taylor kind of exposed all the dirty laundry.
What got her into the show?
Probably just her asking and being like, I was the original swinging whatever, part of the swinging scandal. But she's finally back into Mom Talk. So that was kind of like the Knicks in the sense she was there at the beginning. She hasn't been there in a while, but now she's here to play.
She is emerging as a big player.
As a potential winner. She didn't have a huge role this season, but she was just like, she wasn't around for a while and she's finally back. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I have for you. Greatest show on TV.
Well, it's crazy how quickly the characters can change in just one season.
I honestly wish that there was a little counter for how many times they said Mom Talk.
Dude, I was watching with my roommate and she's like, who are they talking about? Mom Talk? Like the place in New York? And I'm like, Mom Talk, what don't you get?
You fool.
Yeah, I literally turned into like a child. That was an excellent rundown.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you doing that. I will say for our listeners, who maybe aren't super into reality TV, I fall into that camp. It's always been hard for me to sit my ass down and watch some reality TV.
Couldn't be
this
me.
one, it's great. It's great because they only have 2 seasons, low stakes, also just so interesting.
Interesting.
Did you not hear Caroline say, if you don't know the premise of the show, it started because of this group of Mormon women
and their husbands
who were swinging with each other.
Yeah.
Swinging, yes.
Yes.
The way you think. The way you think.
Not on swing sets.
No. We'll leave it there.
Yes.
Okay. To close out Playing the Field, in case you missed it this week, the National Women's Soccer League announced a change in policy which will abandon future matches if a player requires life-saving care. And this is all coming in light of a match with Angel City FC. Their defender, Savvy King, she collapsed on the field maybe like a week and a half ago, and she required medical assistance on the field. She had to be taken out on a stretcher.
And then the game continued after.
And players, I remember Trinity Rodman was one of the more vocal ones who was just saying, this match should not have continued. That's like traumatizing for the players to witness. And it's just like would shake you up. Like, how could you even continue a match, after that? So, yeah, the NWSL says they will not continue the matches anymore.
But yes, a good change in policy. And thankfully, Savvy is doing much better. She was released from the hospital 9 days after her on-field collapse, and she ended up needing surgery to treat a heart abnormality.
I'm glad she's got the care she needed.
Yeah, glad she's okay. Alrighty, let's send it, my dear.
Yes.
Okay, so for the first Send It of the week, these are all things that you've got to be sending to your group chat because, my God, Scotty Scheffler. Something about a boy named Scott, am I right? I am obsessed with this man. So the PGA Championships were this past weekend, and Scotty Scheffler won. And I could not get enough of the ad that Nike put out where it said, like, greatest player in the world, guilty. And that's because last year at the PGA Championships, Scotty Scheffler infamously got arrested going into the golf course because, like, there was just confusion where he was, like, going around a little blockage, and this police officer was like, hey, like don't go around it, and then like started like grabbing onto the car, and then it became a whole thing, got blown completely out of proportion.
Wait, he didn't know that it was Scottie Scheffler, I
No,
imagine.
the man was like, oh, you're playing in the PGA, you must be pretty good. And Scottie Scheffler was like, yeah, I'm all right. Like, humble king. And
I like your cop voice, by the way.
Thanks. And so I just thought it was like the greatest ad I have ever seen from Nike. It was simple, but it was so iconic.
Damn, honestly, like the people they hire, I want to tap into their creative brains juice.
Smart.
Like I need that.
Yeah.
Inject that into my veins, please.
Yes.
That was a good find.
Yeah.
I probably would have flown right over my head without that context. So thank you.
The more you know.
Okay, so my Send It is about Justin and Hailey Bieber. So they went to the Maple Leafs and Panthers playoff match this past weekend. And the Maple Leafs, because obviously Justin, Canadian, they ended up losing. First of all, I want to say that Justin was looking a little rough.
He's crashing out these days.
He is crashing out a bit, I have to say. But what I loved even more about this was did you see how Drake posted on his Instagram story?
Yes.
And it just said Bieber curse.
And it's hilarious because the Drake curse is a thing. It's the Drake curse.
Explain.
Like every team that Drake roots for ends up losing in the finals. And it's hilarious because Drake's trying to be like, it's not me, it's Justin. And it's like, Drake.
It could also be you.
It's also you.
He also, the thing here is that Drake bet $1 million on the Leafs.
To bet $1 million. What a concept.
Right? That's something could like set me up for life.
Totally.
But also Bieber has just been making the rounds I feel like the past 2 weeks. I mean, he's obviously always famous in our hearts. Baby, 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 oh.
Yeah.
But on Mother's Day, did you see how he posted that thing where he was like, Mother's Day sucks ass, LOL?
I'm telling you, he's crashing out.
Yeah, and like Hailey just became a mom to their baby.
And they just had that whole feature. Well, she just had that whole feature in Vogue. And she was like the cover of Vogue. And she was talking all about like postpartum and how hard it was and her body dysmorphia and all of that. And he literally captioned the post that he posted about her being
he like screenshotted the cover, posted it on his feed, his Instagram feed, where millions of followers follow him. And he said, yo, this reminds me of when Hailey and I got into a huge fight, like about
wanting her to, or telling her that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Are you okay?
Right? And it's like, why do some men just love to embarrass their partners?
I don't know.
Publicly.
I'm not here for it.
God.
So he's got a in my book.
Somebody needs to help him. Poor Hailey.
Yeah. Okay. Then my second Send It will be, so Winnipeg Jets center Mark Scheifele scored a goal in his club's must-win Game 6 of the second round playoff series at Dallas on Saturday. This was 24 hours or less than after his father just passed away. So his father passes away, and then he goes to play freaking Game 6, and he scores. And it was just like so emotional, and it made me, who is not like so invested in hockey, but just like hit me right in the feels. And I was like, I can't imagine going through that and then playing in one of the biggest games of the season in your career.
Yeah.
And then being able to like score a goal. It just was like, oh, makes me emotional even talking about it. I like, so thinking of him and his sweet family.
So to close out Send It, we need to take a little bit of time to talk about this part of NFL lore that I had no idea was a thing.
Oh, yes.
So we're talking about schedule release videos.
Yes.
Why? Tell us why we do this.
I mean, it's a great question.
Why is not the question.
The NFL every year like releases the schedule on a specific day at 8 p.m. for each team. And, you know, usually they get leaked on Twitter somehow before that, but the social media team of every football team has a very elaborate video that essentially shows you the schedule for your team. They are so intricate, so well done, so well thought out. You're like months and months in the process. This is the social media team's Super Bowl. Like this.
Producer Sean says it was Bama Rush.
Yeah, Bama Rush. Yes, 100%. And it's just so intense. And yeah, it's like a big thing and a big deal for the social media teams of NFL teams.
Did you come with a couple of favorites?
I did. So
you start.
My winner was the Bills.
I didn't know we had a winner. Damn.
Well, no. I just wanted to like, because that was my favorite.
Right.
By
I mean,
far.
it was so clever.
It was, here's the thing. They did a little play on AI. Like they had Josh Allen. They were being like, what should we do for our schedule release? And he was like, I don't know, just use AI. Everyone does it these days. Then like flash forward, you're using Allen Iverson and like the OG AI. And it was just so clever. And the thing I think that was so perfect to me is it was simple, it was relevant, and it was funny. Like that's the trifecta for me that just is like, mwah, chef's kiss. So I really liked it. And it was just funny.
I like that trifecta you came up with. I will say that I think it was a missed opportunity for Josh Allen. I don't know if you noticed this, but how could this not be intentional? He was barefoot in that video. First of all, those tan lines, crazy. Second, raw piggies.
Yeah.
Out for
Dogs
everybody
out.
to see. Dogs out. His feet were just way too out there.
Yeah.
Haven't we not learned no free foot pics?
I don't know if people are really chasing down his foot pics, you know? Like, I think it's typically more so like women's foot.
Listen, we don't kink shame around here.
Sorry, you're so right.
We don't.
So you're so right. But yes, that is hilarious that you noticed that.
Okay. I wouldn't say I had like specific winners, but I did really enjoy the Titans schedule at least. Did you see that one?
Remind me which one.
So the Titans release video was in the style of like a pharmaceutical video. It was called like a drug called Schedule Rizzy.
Yeah.
And I liked that it was just like corny stock imagery of these people like throwing cornhole and like listing side effects for each team. So some of the ones that I really liked were for the Titans v Rams, gridlock because it's in Los Angeles.
Yep.
Okay. This one I didn't understand. Hand, foot, and mouth disease at Colts.
I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
I can't think of
well, here's one that's very on the nose. Diarrhea for the Browns.
Duh.
Okay. And this is another one I wasn't sure about. It maybe like charged in some way. Jock itch for the Jaguars.
Oh, I don't like the term jock itch at all.
I know.
But no, I don't think it has like a specific play there.
They're just like, you guys fucking suck. We're gonna give you the worst ones. Hand, foot, and mouth disease is so specific. It's so specific.
There must be something I'm missing there. But I also thought the Patriots, they had Dave Portnoy just like read through the schedule.
I hate him. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not like I'm not a fan, but I just thought this is such a turning of the tides because this is their new coach, Mike Vrabel, is so different than Bill Belichick. Like this would have never been a thing in the Bill Belichick era. And Vrabel's just like, I don't give an F. We're gonna ball out. So whatever. And I mean, those sound bites that he said of like each team sucking, whatever. I mean, some of it was objectively hilarious. But like those will be used against the Patriots this season when they eventually lose a game against said team.
I need to watch this one because I think because I knew Dave Portnoy was in it, I was like, I'm not watching
Totally, yeah. But it's just like absurd.
I liked the story though that you just tied together of the difference in eras.
Yes.
If Bill Belichick did it, what would he even do? What did he even do?
I mean, it's not that like they do something. It's just like I think coaches can sometimes have like a we're not doing this
That's
kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that would have ever flown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You sold me.
And then also Los Angeles Rams had Brenda Song. Yeah. And
Queen of our hearts.
And she was just like kind of savage and I really appreciated it.
She was so cute. I like her entering her sports era. It seems like obviously we're trying to get her for well played, guys.
Yeah. Hey, Brenda, come on.
Yeah, harass her in her comments and say.
Maybe don't harass, but beg nicely.
Please beg.
But yeah, I just think that all the social media teams deserve a round of applause. Okay. What was your favorite send it? I'll tell you mine because it's Scotty Scheifele.
I was going to say, I knew that was yours. I'm going to say Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber, just because like somebody's got to check on them.
Someone's got to check on
And I like the
Hailey.
Drake. I like the Drake tie-in.
Yeah.
Because that guy is so annoying too.
Yeah, they're all crazy. All right. Well, that's it for this epi. Correctamundo.
Correctamundo.
Thank you. All right. Well, we will be back in studio next Tuesday. I know this is Wednesday. Just a little. We got to keep you on your toes, you know. But make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you're listening. Make sure you are sending us your Send It nominees. We will take them and we will send them in the Slack channel. So please send away. Blake, where can they DM you, follow you, keep up with you?
You can DM me at BLAA's4KsE.
You can DM me at CG Hendy.
Alternatively, did you guys know I have a food Instagram account?
Oh, she does.
That has more followers than my my regular one.
Hey, pop
It's
off.
called I'm a Jersey Tomato. I cook there.
You could also follow her there.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a secret Instagram?
No. I should, though.
Yeah.
I should create one.
You can't get that personal on CG Hendy.
I should create one to stalk people with because I have a blue check
Honey, we got a
mark.
name for that. It's called a burner account.
Okay, I'm going to get a burner.
Anyways,
alrighty. Well, make sure you're leaving us a rating and review wherever you're listening. Check out Well Played channel on YouTube by The Skim. And until next time, thanks for listening to Well Played.
the only podcast in a league of its own.